So recently I attended a strategic leaders summit organized by Human Capital International, and one of the main things they had to address was this. Financing startups and SMEs. Is cash still available? What can fintechs, telcos, and financial institutions do to address the startups and SMEs funding crisis? Apparently, there's a lot of money available for startups because on one hand, there are investors through the fintechs, through the financial institutions, through grant managers, and on this hand, we have startups, SMEs, and by SMEs I mean small and medium business enterprises. But the two don't seem to run into each other. The investors are here looking for good companies and ideas to invest in. The startups are here with their good ideas, and they can't seem to find the investors to invest in them. So in this summit, they were able to share some of the reasons as to why the startups are not meeting the investors. So here are the few reasons that were shared in case you're looking for funding for that good idea. Keep watching. Owner syndrome. Most of the startups that are initiated in Africa are owned by one person, the founder, of course, the vision bearer. And there are a few, of course, who go into partnerships. However, most of them fall into sole proprietorship, and investors like working better with partnerships or corporate companies for the simple reason that in case anything happens, to the founder or to the owner of the company, at least there's someone else who is accountable for their finances. So that kind of reduces the risks of them incurring losses. So in case you have a company and it's a sole proprietorship, I think it's high time you try to identify partners, have a board of directors that can give you more leverage when it comes to investments, because surely, even if it were you, if the company is owned by one person and they are the ones doing everything, you just know in case they die, in case they get ill, in case God forbid, if in case they get a disability, that simply means no one else is answerable to anything. So that is one of the reasons as to why most startups don't get funding. It's because of their business structure. Secondly, poor bookkeeping methods. I know we Africans don't really like this whole thing of noting down everything. We don't like the whole accountability thing. But if you don't have books of accounts, chances are no investor is going to invest in your business or in your idea, however good it might be. Like I mentioned earlier before in one of my videos, which I'll link up here, banks and financial institutions don't give loans for startups. So they only come in when you want to expand. But for them to be able to give you funds to expand your business, they need to be assured that your idea, your business is actually a good idea. They need to know that it's viable. And for them to know that, they need to go through your books of accounts. They look at the numbers to see whether the business is worth investing in or not. But not only that, these books also shine more light on the habits of the company, like the expenses. If your money is if you're making money and your money is getting out of the company in ways you don't understand, this is when a third party can come in and be like, you have a leakage here, you need to work on this, you need to fix this. So those who don't have businesses that don't have books of accounts, businesses that don't have those cash flow statements and all that, usually investors stay away from them because they kind of assume that these businesses are not they are not responsible, and there's no way you're going to convince someone else, you're going to convince a stranger that this is a good idea, it's working, it's been in existence for this long, and you have nothing to show for it. No one can really take your word for it. So poor bookkeeping methods, yes. they keep investors away from startups and SMEs. Poor saving habits. Do you know that if you have a good saving track record, you are eligible for a loan without collateral? Well, apparently financial institutions are looking for businesses, SMEs, that have good saving culture, because that track record will give them the confidence that you're in position to pay back their money. However, if you have poor saving habits, then it leaves them in a space where they don't know whether the business is making money or not. They don't know whether you just have poor financial management habits or not. So if you are an SME and you've been looking for funds to expand your company or something like that, then you need to improve and develop a better savings culture. Under utilization of resources. Did you know that you can use LPOs as collateral? I was like, all along? Apparently, banks do accept LPOs as collateral. And as SMEs, they usually don't have capital share that enables them to supply big companies, in big quantities or something like that. And so that, that eliminates such opportunities from them. As you know, because they're still small and medium sized and still on the growth path. But in case such a client is not able to pay cash, then you can ask for an LPO. Like if people order big quantities of products or service from you, in that you'll need to outsource some, let's say some manpower, you need to outsource, some products that you're not able to supply as a company. Well, I guess now an LPO would work as your collateral. I just learned that and I just got excited. I'm like, well, then it simply means both, SMEs and big companies can now, compete on fair grounds. Anyway, that's all I had for you today. I hope this video was, beneficial to you in some way or the other. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you liked the content in this video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to share and comment. Until next time, ciao.